Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. So we've been going pretty steady into the RPG series, so I thought we'd take a break and handle a request I got for a teleportation spell because it sounded super fun. So this is what we'll be setting up. So we'll make it to where we can slow down time, we'll spawn a target location, and then when we release, we teleport to it. We'll set it up in a way to where if we get a ledge from the bottom side, we'll still land on top. So you can use it for platforming or what have you on the ground. So it's pretty fun actually, and pretty simple. So let's jump in. I got a clean project set up over here. The only thing I've done in this one so far is I've deleted the touch input from my character blueprint. But the first thing we want to do to get this set up is right click in our blueprints folder and create a blueprint class of an actor. Call it teleport target point underscore BP. I'm going to open that up, add a component of a particle system. For that particle system, sparks. Just because I like the way the sparks look. I'm going to set its scale to be about 3 so it's easier to see from a distance. Then next we want to, that should be about all we need for that. So next we want to open our third person character blueprint. Like I said, I've already deleted the touch input. So down in the bottom where it was, I'm going to just type in right mouse button. And, oh, I forgot, I did add that. We want to add in a scene component into our character components and drag it out a little bit, just so we have a place to initialize our teleport target spawn point. So in our variables, we want to add a boolean and call it can teleport ? Compile, select it, and you want to make sure this is defaulted to true. Just in case your character has other spells and you want this to shut off in case they're doing another one, you don't want multicasts going on. This will let you just shut it all off with one switch. But we'll get a branch, and on pressed we'll check to see if we can teleport. And if we can, then we want to spawn actor from class of our teleport target point, drag out our scene component, and get world transform, and plug that in. Then we want to drag this off and promote it to a variable called target point ref. And after this we want to add another boolean and call it teleporting. Drag it out, set it to true. Then we'll B left click for a branch and plug this result into this. After this, we want to do a line trace by channel. Plug that to the true, because we're going to set this on a retriggerable so that we can update where our target point is at. We want to get our follow camera, get world location, and set that up. Get forward vector, drag this over back a little bit. From the world location we do vector plus vector, off the forward vector, vector times float, and I'm going to set it up to about 5,000. You can set it up for however far you want your range to be. Then for our hit, we want to break the hit result, B left click, and if it's a blocking hit, then we want to set actor location. Now the actor location that we want to update is our target point. So we'll get that, plug it in there, and we want the location we set it to be where our hit result was. Now after this, we will add a retriggerable delay. I'm going to set this to a low number, about 0.01. I'm going to hook my false from my blocking hit straight to the delay, and this straight to it as well. And then I'm going to grab this and take it all the way back to our branch. Because as long as we have the button held down, we want to be able to update. But we want to on release to tell it that we're no longer trying. So we'll on release, find out if teleporting is active, and if it is, we will set it to false. Then we'll drag out our target point reference and get actor location, find out is valid off of our target point ref one more time, hook that up to our boolean into the execute. I'm going to box select and kind of drag this all down, give us a little bit more room. Plug that up there, set that here, move this over, and if it is valid, then we want to promote its location to a variable and call it teleport loc, or location, whatever you want to call it. Hook that up. Okay. Then we want to destroy our teleport point. Now we don't want it to just blink our character there. We want it to kind of have that little swoosh effect. So we're going to add timeline, teleport speed for the name of it, and we'll hook that up to play from start. I'm going to double click and open that up and set it to about 0.15, that way it's pretty quick. I'm going to add a float track called teleport speed. See? And on our little gray area, this light gray area will be the length of our track, so we don't want our points over here. But I'm going to right click at the beginning and add a key to curve float. I want to make sure its time is at 0 and its value is at 0, so that it's initialized right where we want it. Then somewhere near the end, I'll add another key. I'll set its time to 0.15 and its value to 1. Scroll out a little bit, box select, and up here you can zoom to fit either vertical or horizontal. For our purpose, horizontal. Then I'm going to right click one of the keys and set our key interpolation to auto. This will make it have a smoother transition. You can customize these if you want to by grabbing these and kind of moving it, but I'm just going to leave it at auto for now, personally. So now what we want to do is set actor location. This one we do want to leave as self, and we will update this from update to our set actor location, leave the target as a self, and for our new location we're going to lerp vector. A lerp is a linear interpolation, so that it goes from here, instead of just boom, it's there, it's kind of gradual change. So we want to right click and get a reference to ourself, get world location, no, get actor location, hook that up to our A, because A is where we're at, B is where we're going, alpha is the speed at which we get there. So I'm going to hook the teleport speed to our alpha real quick. I'm going to drag out the teleport location and plug it into B. And let's test that real quick, and then we'll go over setting up the camera functions and all that jazz. So our teleport marker's there, and now we teleport where we want to. Now the way we're going to where we hooked teleport location to our B vector, we want to drag off the teleport location, do a vector plus vector, and add 90 on the Z. It'll stop it from going into the ground, and so now see, it just stays where we're flat. Plus if we hit a ledge, it'll launch us just right up on top of it, instead of hitting the edge and then falling off. So now that we've done that, let's set up our camera function to where it zooms out and all that. So in our viewport, I'm going to grab my camera boom, and if you're familiar with my videos, you know I usually like to set it up like this. It's just my preferred. It's so much easier when you're working with magic spells where you're actually able to see. So now I'm going to add two variables. It's going to be called camera play location, and we're going to make that a vector. We want to select our follow camera, right click where it says location, and we'll copy that and then paste that. Then we want to add one more, call it teleport cam loc. Compile that real quick. The one I had on the last one in the test was negative 167 and 155, and then for the rotation I had it at about a negative 10, and that gave me a good field of view. So we'll also set in a new variable called teleport cam rot, but we'll make this one a rotator. So for its rotation on the Y, we'll just make it negative 10. We don't need a play location because we'll just default it back to 0. So we'll box select everything this side of our can teleport. Just move it all out the way because we want to add another timeline called camera shift, and we'll, if you control left click something, you can disconnect a wire and move it where you want to. So I'm going to connect this to finished on our camera shift. From true, I'll hit this play to start. Now we want to set actor relative location and set relative location and rotation for our follow camera. Or you can drag out the follow camera like this and then set set relative location and rotation, and it'll give you the same thing. But so I'm going to update our camera's location and rotation. We'll drag this up a little bit, get it out the way. We want to lerp both of these. So lerp vector and lerp rotator. Maybe I'll drag it back down. That looks alright. So we want to lerp it from our camera play location, so we'll get that for our A, and our teleport camera location for the B. So we'll double click and open up our camera shift. I'm going to set it about 0.25 and add a float track called camera shift speed. Just like last time, we want to right click, key float, or key note, whatever, time 0, value 0, add a key, 0.25, because we want it to be as long as our timeline, box select, zoom to fit, auto interpolation, and there we go. Then we hook this to the alpha on both. Kind of line it up a little bit better so it doesn't look so messy. And for our lerp rotator, since its base rotation is 0, 0, 0, we can just hook this straight to the B and click shortest path. Now what we want to do is just box select all of this, Control C, and after our character has moved, we want to Control V to paste that out. From the finished, we want to reverse from end. That way we don't have to set it all up again. It'll just automatically take what it had done and reverse it. So let's check all that out real quick. Oh. What's happening there? 167, 155. Set the camera back to 0, 0, 0. You want to make sure you set it back to your default play. Let's see, camera play location. Oh. Oh. I guess it would help if you actually, what did I say, it was negative 167, 80, and 155, something like that. Yeah, setting variables actually helps. My bad, blonde moment. So, but let's try it out now. So now we got a good field of view, and that looks pretty good. So now they teleport and the camera will shift back. But let's add in the slow motion. So right before we spawn the actor, we want to right click, set global time dilation. From finished, set this, and we'll set it to about 0.25. That way everything moves at about a quarter of the speed it normally does. And then on released, if teleporting was true, then we want to set global time dilation again, and we'll set it back to 1 because 1 is full speed. Hang on one second. Sorry, I had to stand up. My arm was going numb a little bit. So now let's check that out. So we jump, slow motion, boom. Jump, slow motion, can teleport. Let's test it on that. It launches us up to the edge, and that's all working pretty well. Now one more thing we can do just to add a little extra effect is when we are setting our actor's location, we can also drag out our follow camera, set field of view, and hook that up to set actor location. We will drag out and say lerp. Your camera's base field of view is 90. So for B, I'm going to set it to 90 so that it ends where it's starting. Now for the A, I'm going to set it to 70. And I'm going to hook the alpha to my teleport speed. My God, I've been waiting all day to try to do this video, but dogs have been going nuts. My sister has like 7 dogs. I was hoping they would stay quiet for the video. Sorry if y'all hear that. But now this will take our camera's field of view, set it to 70, and then scale it in to 90 where it starts when we teleport. So, fancy little flash effect. It's actually really fun too. I spent a good while just kind of playing with it. So you can delete all this, scale this out a good ways. Just for fun, I'm going to right click, create a blueprint class of a character and call it enemy. I'm going to open that up, set its mesh to the mannequin, the animation blueprint to be the third person anim BP, drop him down 90 points and rotate him 90 degrees. And then on begin play, I'm just gonna set AI move, no, not set AI move to, AI move to. Hook that up to the AI move to for the pawn, get a reference to self, target actor get, player character, and add a delay with a D left click, change it to about 0.1, and then just hook it straight back into AI move to, so that when we drag this character out, it'll just automatically. Alright, under volumes, we also want to set a nav mesh bounds volume. So I'm going to set its scale to about 30 by 30 by 5. 40 by 40. So now they'll run after us. And now you can just play around with them. This one seems a little bit funky. What is happening? Maybe we want to set our camera a little bit different. Maybe. I remember what it was. Okay, I'm gonna move this down a little bit. I'm gonna box select all this. Right after we destroy actor, we want to hold S and left click for a sequence node. From here, we'll add for the play from start, and then for the then to. This makes sure that they both happen at the same time, and we'll reverse that from the end. That way it doesn't teleport and then it shifts the camera. That just looks weird. So now let's give it a shot. Oh, I forgot I added them. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So now, something we can do just as a little test. I know this one's probably going on a little bit longer than I intended, but bring out some cubes, scale it up, drag it up. I'm going to just add a few around. Remember, you can duplicate items that you've got selected by Alt left clicking or Alt clicking and dragging. So now let's give it a shot. So cool. So it makes, you can use this for like a platforming effect or, no, okay. Or just magical combat. You can add effects after your character teleports, like say your character boomed and then there's a sonic explosion or whatever, you know. Alter it however you like. It is super fun. I get caught up playing with it. But hope you enjoyed, so thanks for stopping by.